February's Middlesized Garden of the Month is a long, thin, narrow urban garden because lots of us have gardens like that. And February, of course, is not a time for the garden to look beautiful, but it's a great time to redesign the garden. So I'm going to go around with the owner of this garden, Posy Gentles, and ask her what she's doing, why. I've featured Posy's garden quite a few times on the Middlesized Garden blog and YouTube channel as an outstanding example of a long, thin, narrow garden that looks just completely gorgeous. And I will drop some photos of that in on this video. And of course, in the summer, I'll come back to you with another session of Middlesized Garden of the Month, and I'll show you how her changes have made a difference. So do subscribe. It's Alexandra from the Middlesized Gardening blog and YouTube channel with gardening tips, ideas and inspiration from real middle-sized gardens to yours. Posy lives in a terraced house and her garden is about 16 feet wide, that's about 4.5 metres, and around 70 feet long, which is about 21 metres. When she bought it, there was a lawn in the middle and shrubs around the edge, which made the garden look even more narrow. Her first step was to make one very wide bed going across the garden immediately beyond the back terrace, with an offset path to one side. By taking the border across the garden rather than down the side, she's blurred the edges and made the garden look bigger. She's also planted 3 slim birch trees slightly off-centre in the middle of the garden where there's a little lawn. You can still see through to the end, but their canopy gives her terrace privacy from the windows of the house opposite.
Okay, well, this bed, as the children grew older and the dog grew older, I dug up more of the grass. I left this bit of grass for my old Labrador because he liked it, but now he's died. I want to make the garden make more sense because it's an odd little patch. So I'm going to extend the lawn there. So there's a big part to sit in which has the trees in too, but is sort of, you go into it through the path and the garden opens out into this bit of lawn and then closes off again to garden. So yes, I'm just going to sort of shift it around a bit. So I'll dig the things up that are there, but also I want to kind of conceal it slightly so it opens out. So I'm thinking of things like having a couple of columns of purple beech or something like that to kind of catch the eye so you can still see through it. In a long, thin garden like this, a town garden, you need height. It doesn't necessarily have to shield it or conceal it, but your eye just naturally stops when it sees something high in front of it. Okay, at this end of the garden, when I moved to this house, there was a big area of hard standing and behind a shed, which was there. I felt there was too much hard standing in this garden, given that it's in the middle of a town. There's already houses everywhere and walls, so I dug it all up, which has taken a while. Got rid of the pavers on free cycle. Someone came and took them all away. Then dug down a bit and found there was another path under the earth, which had been there from the past. So there's a lot in town gardens. Quite often there's a lot left over that people have done and tried to cover up, and I want to get rid of it all and just have a more natural end to the garden. So my idea is that I'm going to plant all this bit up and have a path running through, and I didn't want to put down more concrete or hardcore, so I'm going to try just using shells which you can get, little cockle shells, which are small enough not to look sort of overtly seasidey, and sort of dig down a bit and lay them on it. Eventually they'll decompose, so I won't be leaving someone in 100 years' time say, oh blast, all these shells in the way, as I have with this path under there. And I mean, it won't be incredibly tidy, but that's not really what I'm looking at. I want it to look somehow more natural, that there are paths through the wildness, the controlled wildness that I would make, rather than flower beds which have been bordered and kept to a certain area.
Now we're walking back through the garden towards the house, and by the summer this will be a wilder area, and then onto what will be a larger lawn, and then Posy's beautiful borders. I'll revisit this garden of the month, so do subscribe to see how it turns out. Posy is a garden maker, redesigning gardens and borders for clients, and you can find her in the links in the description below. The Middlesized Garden YouTube channel uploads on Wednesdays and Saturdays with garden ideas, tips and inspiration, so you can enjoy your middle-sized garden more. And do let me know what sort of gardens you'd like to see more of in the comments below. Thank you.